Okay friends, welcome to this video about La Feria de Málaga. I went in 2022 to visit my friend Naba, and I stayed with her family and hung out with them and did essentially a whole week of La Feria, which was insane. It was so fun, but it was also the craziest time I've had probably since college, if we're being honest. So stay tuned and see what La Feria is all about. This is Naba. We met in college and have been great friends ever since. She and her family welcome me as one of their own when I visit, which I am grateful for, but also we have a blast. This is Elena. She's Naba's partner and so understanding about this random American who comes and crashes every now and again. This is Yaya. She is Elena's stepmom. She's always made me feel so welcome in her home. She's a ton of fun, and I think we're kind of engaged. And here's Julia. I actually have to freeze frame this because I don't want to miss what Yaya is saying in the background. But back to Julia. She is gorgeous, fun, hilarious, and she is instantly welcoming of everyone.
Venga, venga, lleva fotos para América. Llévanos por ahí. Ya que no voy a América, me llevas tú el foto. Sí, voy.
And I can't forget about Abu, which is short for Abuelo. He is Elena's dad, and he is the ultimate horse wrangler. And he's the reason why we get to ride these beautiful horses to the feria and have so much fun. One thing you might have caught a glimpse of in the end of that little video clip was the bottle of Cartojal, which is a sweet wine, a sweet white wine that is made in Malaga, and it is like the unofficial or the official drink of the feria. Okay, I don't know about official drink, but I did find that it is the favorite wine of La Feria, and as you can see in these photos, you will find it everywhere and you can't escape the hot pink with the white dots. And it's so fun, and if you head to our Instagram, you can see a picture of me in my Cartojal cowboy hat, and I will also include a link in the description that talks a little bit more about Cartojal if you're interested in reading more about it. Okay, so what does a typical Spanish family do for La Feria? Well, I can only speak to the Spanish family that I spent time with, which is gigantic, and like I said, they invite everyone along, so there were always a ton of people around. But what we would do is we would wake up, eat something for breakfast, head over to Abu and Yaya's house where everyone would sit around chatting with each other. The horse people would be outside getting the horses ready. I'm not a horse person, so that's why I'm not sure what exactly went on out there. And everyone else would be inside getting on their outfits and their dresses and their makeup and their moños, which are their buns. So Julia was the official moño person in our little family group. So she would put everyone's hair into a moño, and we would all put on lipstick and flowers and combs in our hair, and we would all pick an abanico, which is a little fan, and get ready. And when everyone was finally ready, we would all jump into the horse cart, or some of us on horses, and whoever wouldn't fit on a horse or in a horse cart would go by car, and we would ride a little way to the feria, waving to everyone on our way, and then we would stop under this one specific bridge in order to have our lunch, which Yaya so lovingly prepared earlier in the day, with some help, of course, from anyone that was available to lend a hand. Here we've got some chicken cutlets frying. I don't remember what was in them, but they were great. We've got some salchicha, some queso, some tortilla española, and then here we are under the bridge enjoying our lunch on the go. By the way, if you're going to come to feria, you better practice your palmadas or your clapping, because it is just constant clapping no matter what song comes on, even if it's like modern reggaeton or even like American hip hop. You better believe that if you're feeling the song, you're gonna clap along to it, and that's just that. Okay, back to business. The ride to the feria in style is a huge component of the feria fun. Those of us in the back of the cart listen to music and sing and clap and cheer on the horse riders. If we need to stop for any reason, impromptu sevillanas burst out on the sidewalks. The whole atmosphere is that of a huge party. The folks in charge of the horses maintain their seriousness and look super fly while doing so. In order to arrive to the feria by horse and then parade around, you must be appropriately dressed, and this goes for anyone in the front of the cart as well. So because I was only wearing a sundress and not a proper flamenco outfit, I couldn't sit up front. Once we arrived at the fairgrounds, which is where the bulk of the feria takes place, we paraded up and down the main paths a few times before pulling over to give the horses and riders a rest and to say hi to friends. Now, the feria is divided up into two main areas, the fairgrounds and Málaga Centro, which is just the center historic part of town. Daytime activities take place in the city center, such as music acts and dancing. More on that later, because we did go there for one day. In this clip, we are at the fairgrounds. At the fairgrounds, there are casetas, or little huts, along the main paths. Each one has its own bar, food, music, and group of people. Anyone is welcome to go into any caseta. You just choose based on what you like. Some casetas play sevillanas, more traditional music. Some casetas play modern dance music. It's an all-day party full of food, drinks, and dancing. In the evening, the carnival area opens. This area is like a classic American fair, not to erase the history of Málaga Feria by assigning Americanness to it, but just to give American viewers an idea, it's like a classic like carnival or fair. So they've got rides, games, food booths, and they party into the night and all the way until dawn. Unfortunately for us, we never made it to the carnival part because the horses have to leave the feria by a certain time in the evening. So we would always leave at the time that it was time for the horses to leave. And then of course by the time we got back, cleaned the horses, changed out of our outfits, and made something to eat, it was past midnight and we were way too tired to go back. I somehow have no photos or video of any of the carnival area, so if you would like to see that section of La Feria, you're just gonna have to go and visit yourself. Let's talk about those casetas. Here we are in one of the casetas that plays traditional sevillanas. Those of us who rode in on the cart took the opportunity to jump off and do some dancing and mingling, which meant that other friends that we ran into at the feria who wanted a ride on the cart got to take a spin, as long as they sat in the back if they weren't in full feria attire. Because we brought our own food and ate under the bridge, we didn't partake in much food from the feria, but there are food and drinks available for purchase in abundance if you're interested in that. We did also visit some of the other casetas that had more modern music playing, so here are a few clips of us just enjoying our time in those casetas. Here is my girl, Encarni Navarro. I absolutely love her. Her voice is amazing. Here she is singing in La Caseta El Pimpi, and she also sings in El Pimpi, which is the iconic bodega and restaurant in Málaga Centro. I mean, what an absolute legend. This is a different day, but here we are again in some of the casetas that play modern music instead of traditional music. We do not let the hot weather keep us from partying. Here's what a ride through the feria looks like from a seat in a horse-drawn carriage. I haven't yet explained the history or reasoning for the Feria de Málaga. So it originally was a celebration of the Catholic monarchs retaking the city of Málaga in the 1400s. But now it's kind of more like a summer festival that celebrates the culture of Málaga and Andalusia. It takes place for a little over a week every August, so it's kind of like a huge summer blowout party. Earlier I mentioned that part of the fun of Feria is also in Malaga Centro, downtown, and this is what we are doing in this section right here. So there's a little area that sells food and has dancing. There are other outdoor areas that have food and dancing as well, so there's just a party everywhere around town during Feria. And here's one of the outdoor stages in Malaga Centro with lots of music and dancing. The camera movements get more erratic the more I get into the party. What's this random beach, you may ask? Well, after, I don't know, 3 days of Feria, we were exhausted and we could not possibly do another day of Feria in a row. So we took a day and went to the beach. It was amazing, it was relaxing and beautiful, and then don't worry, we went back to Feria the next day. Let's do another loop or two around the Feria before I show you what it's like heading home for the evening and close out this video about La Feria de Málaga. By the way, the videos switch from vertical to horizontal because I filmed on whatever I had with me. I was trying to stay in the moment as much as possible and enjoy my time at La Feria. Here we are leaving La Feria, and you can see a bit of that carnival section in the background here. And then coming up, you can see the entrance/exit to La Feria. These are the beautiful sunset views that we had on the ride home from La Feria each night. And it was tradition to stop at this dusty parking lot to get some ice cream on the way home each night, which was great because I love ice cream. And of course, Sevillanas would break out every time we were there, as per usual, and sometimes ice cream time got a little bit intense as well. Now we ride off into the sunset, put the horses to bed, get something to eat, and go to sleep so that we can do it all again the next day.